Hello. Okay, let me get my life together, right? So, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Abby with Abby Reviews. And this is gonna be my review and recap for Superman and Lois, season 2, episode 2. I don't know the name of the episode, but we jumping back in. It's all manners of foolishness happening. Like Superman is having some kind of attacks. They trying to get off bringing Superman's from the military man. I don't know what the hell his issue is. I already want to punch him in the face. Why the general always? There's always got to be a dickhead though. For real though. Why the general always? The daddy was a dickhead, and now the man that replaced him, he's being dickish too. I don't understand. Is that just does that be that shitty personality is what comes with the job? Like, does the job turn you into a dickhead? Like, I don't understand. And you can't commandeer Superman as an American thing only. Just because he lives here. Don't do that. Don't do that. He's for the world. He's for the streets, and rightfully so. Don't do that. Don't try and him down. Let him help everybody. Amen. Okay, so let's jump into this episode and see what's happening. Okay, so we start off with Lois making this huge TV breakfast: eggs, bacon, sausage, the whole toast, the whole nine. Because they guests in the house, the girl, Natalie and John Henry. So everybody comes down and sit at the table, and the little girl's like, "I'm kind of vegan, and I'm not a big breakfast person," because Lois was trying to do the most as usual. So all of a sudden, Clark gets up and he's going to say something, and I don't know what these panic attacks are or these episodes that he's having, but he has one in the kitchen. Like the whole kitchen starts shaking like it's an earthquake. Child, I don't know what's going on. Something is happening with Clark. We need to get him some help. I don't trust the DOD though, to help him with whatever it is that he got going on. He need to go to Fortress of Solitude and talk to his daddy. If is Fortress of Solitude still standing after last season? I think so. But he need to go check on and see what the hell going on. Because I don't like this. Alright, so the kids go to school. Clark is going to talk to his little raggedy ass brother about what the fuck is going on. If he's having residual memories from Zod or what's happening. Or is this some new shit? We don't know yet. There's some podcast that came out saying Lois coerced her sources and was lying about this cult leader. I feel like that's going to play a part later on in what's we got going on. But we going to see. We are going to see. Now, Jonathan is looking a little confuzzled and jealous because Natalie is hitting it off with Sam. Now it's gonna be a little bisexual love triangle with your kind of sister. I don't know. It's John Henry got to find him a job so he can get a house and get out of the people's house. We gonna see what happens. This is a lot in the first 10 of this. There's always this show be a lot of shit happens in an hour. They pack like a 2-hour movie in every episode, so it's a lot. Okay, so why the little big? Okay, so Lana and her husband they doing this little campaign situation for the mayor at the diner, and they pay for the time. When they get there, the former mayor, the present mayor, is there. The jackass mayor of their town is there, and he was like, "Oh, it's all yours." Blah blah blah. So the mayor, the Daniel Hart, the little cute boy who's running against the mayor, shows up late to the campaign thing. It's just, I was like, "What happened to you getting here to greet all the people?" He's like, "I have to talk to you. I'm dropping out of the mayor race. I got this good job in Crystal County, which is clearly not there, in small town. Well, what's the name of this? Whatever the name of the town is." And he's like, "My family needs this. It's been a rough couple of years." She was like, "What about running for mayor?" He's like, "No, it's a good time that it's good that this is at the beginning because then it's not such a bad thing that I'm dropping out of the race." And she's like, "I guess I understand." And now he done made a formal announcement. I don't put it past this mayor to have gotten a connection to get this man a job to get him out of town so he can run unopposed. Is this the villain origin story for the mayor? Is this how it starts? We will see. And then not Jonathan, Jordan shows up there's at school, and Sam, and he was school is over, I guess, and he's like, "You ready to go to the diner?" And she's like, "Oh my god, I forgot. I invited Natalie over so we could work on the car." And he was like, "Oh." And then Natalie shows up and she was like, "Hey," and he was like, and she was like, "You can come over, and hang out." And he was like, she was like, Natalie was like, "Yeah, we can use an extra pair of hands." And he's like, "Well, cars aren't really my thing." So he's sulking, he's upset. I feel like Sam is avoiding him. Did she get a scissor sister at the camp? And now she's into girls, so now she's gonna push up on Natalie? Like, I don't know. I don't know. What's happening? That's gonna be really. That's gonna be a lot. We're gonna see what happens. I don't even know if Natalie likes girls like that. So let's pump our brakes. Just because they like cars and mechanical shit does not mean that they are gay. But I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, because this one thing I know it don't have to do with Jonathan. Oh my god. So, okay, let's start here. John Henry was in the room that they've given to Jordan's Jonathan's room that they've given to baby girl while they're staring there. He's got a picture of the three of them, of him, the other Lois, and baby girl, and he's staring at it. He misses his wife, and then Lois comes in and she asks him to help her with finding out what happened at the mine. He's like, I don't want. My focus has to be on being a good dad to Natalie. I can't get involved with anything dangerous. She was like, it's nothing to involve the steel suit. This is a one-time ask. If you could just help me out. And then Clark comes home, and he was like, they were like, so what happened? And he was like, Morgan Edge is not going to be any help to us at all. Um, and so Clark hears that something that's happening at the airport, where some dude with a machine gun and the pilots and the police have arrived and they having a shootout. He's like, I gotta go. And she was like, tell coach, blah, 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 I'm gonna be late. And she was like, oh, but what about this morning when you had the little episode? And he was like, it'll be fine. Pew! He disappears. He gets to the thing. This guy is there. First of all, Superman comes in and pow and knocks the man down. And so he gets the police to get the people. And while that's happening, the guy who had the machine gun takes out this little oxygen thing. Like, if you've seen Titans and you've seen that boy inhaling, putting the mask on his face to inhale the stuff that takes away all of his fear, it was something like that. So he puts the oxygen mask on. There's like this orange mist, and he sucks it up, which gave him apparently superpowers, because he and punches Superman in the chest, and Superman flows flying back, and it's a sonic boom and knocks out everybody else. And so Superman goes to fight him, and the man Hulk smashes Superman. He takes him and he's got him like this. Plow, 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 plow. I was like, what the hell is going on? And so the baby soups show up, the military baby soups show up, and it's three of them, and they beating the bricks off the man. Meanwhile, Superman is completely out of it. He's having another episode. It's not good. One of the baby soups come over there and be like, Superman, are you okay? And Clark completely passes out. And then it went to commercial. Listen, this is a lot for not even being, for only being 20 minutes into an hour show. Like, it's a lot that's happening. It's a lot. But that was a lot. We're going to see. Hopefully, Superman get himself together. Thank God for the baby soups at this point. We don't know what's happening to Clark. I don't know what that orange gas was. It looks to give him superpowers to beat up Superman. I don't know. They got to figure it out. Also, Lois went to the mine because that's where the earthquake originated from. And they was like, we haven't dug down deep enough to cause the seismic reaction that happened the other day. We're trying to figure it out as well. And they'll call you when we figure it out. Okay. All right, so let's jump back into it. Jesus Christ, a lot is happening. So Superman is at the DOD. Jackass is like, well, I got my own supers now, and if you not gonna cooperate, like we don't have your back. You just on your own. So I forget you. Whatever's going on with you, you need to figure it the fuck out, cause we not finna help you. Bet he gonna end up eating them words. And then Superman was like, that young man Tag, he's barely 18. He's like, yeah, but he's fast, ain't he? So we go from there to Lana and her husband's trying to figure out who are they gonna get replace Cutie to be the mayoral candidate to run against them. I think they're gonna ask Clark to do it eventually because everybody they come up with, none of them are good suggestions. I really think with Clark, with his mama's cachet in the town, and Clark being who he is, they gonna try and convince him to run for mayor. I don't know how that's gonna end up working, but we will see. Um, then Lois and John Henry is at the dig site where they tunneling for mining for the X stuff. He looking and having flashbacks of his wife, and she's oblivious to what the hell is happening. So, there is that. Then we get to Clark gets home and he's like, "Tell your mother I'm going to the fortress." And Jordan is like, "Well, I thought the fortress didn't work anymore." He's like, "Not my fortress, my brother's." And he was like, "You're gonna break him out?" And he's like, "Your granddad pulled some strings. We're gonna get him out. We're gonna go to the fortress." He's like, "Let me go with you. What if it's booby trapped? We don't trust this man. Even though he doesn't have powers anymore, he can still do stuff." And he was like, "I want to feel useful because at this point, me and Sam we not in a good place. She's doing the most with the least and leaving me hanging, and I feel useless. So let me go with you." So he brings him with him, with the brother, to the fortress. He do the little doodly bop things, and then it's the mama that shows up. So I don't know how that's. She's gonna hit Clark directly in the feels. I'm like, ooh, that's his mama. So we gonna see, because the mama was the one who helped destroy because the daddy was doing the damn most. But we gonna see what happens. All right, so they talking to the mama, and the mama's like, "Oh, both of my sons are here together," and this is a consciousness from before all of the ship sham happened. So they explained to her, "Listen, we're not together. Come, bring it down, bring it down." And then Morgan Edge is all like, "Your mother, you never favored me. You left me in the hands of a monster." And she was like, "That wasn't my choice. I didn't want to leave you behind, but I couldn't take you because your daddy was a crazy man." And they explained to her what's going on with Superman, and she's like, "I think we can fix it." And they running these tests on him, and she was like, "Oh, your son reminds me of your dad." And she was like, "You see how she favors him over me?" And Jordan says, "Well, he's not a homicidal maniac who tried to destroy the entire world. Like, I don't like why you don't understand why she would like." I was tickled. So we did flip. John Henry is trying to get his life together because every time he sees Lois, he sees his dead wife, and feelings. And she asked him, "Are you gonna be? Are you? I know it's hard with being here with me. Are you gonna be okay?" And he was like, "I will make the adjustment." She was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "I can make the adjustment." Okay, can we get this man a date? Can we find some pretty black woman for him to date on this show, please? And not just be stuck up Lois's ass because that was his wife in another. Can we? Can we find him some love, please? Cause he fine. Can we find him a pretty black girl today? Thank you. Um, I don't know where he gonna find it in Smallville, but there's there's got to be some old niggas in Smallville somewhere hiding in the cut. Can we get him a job and then find him a woman to love that's not Lois? Thank you. Um, then we go to Sam and baby girl, and baby girl is fixing the car and stuff, and she was like, Sam was like, have you ever had a secret? Um, well, she asked her about her and Jordan, and she was like, "We're good. Why? Did he say something?" And she was like, "No, but your answer did." And she was like, "Well, have you ever had a secret that if you told them, someone, it would change how you look at them?" And she was like, "Yeah, but I have a feeling our secrets are not the same." And then she says, "If you are not going to tell him, get better at hiding whatever it is that you don't want to tell him." I really want to know what's the secret. Did you go to camp? And what happened at this camp? What's going on? I feel like her affections have been turned to someone else. Who? Is it Tag? Is it a girl? I have so many questions. So many questions. Jesus Christ on the cross. Oh my God. So, Morgan Edge tricked them. Of course, it was a trick. He got some of his powers back. But Jordan was like, stay off of my daddy, because Clark started to have another fit. And he was like, no, youngin, mind your business. And they start to fight. And so Morgan is choking out Jordan. And the mama is screaming, there is good in your heart. I know there is. Stop. You have no cause to hurt this boy. Blah, blah, blah. And then while that's happening, something is happening at the mine. There's some seismic activity happening, and Lois and John Henry are monitoring it from the outside, but from the inside, there's like three workers, and the lady who is in charge is screaming into the thing, evacuate, evacuate. Something is happening, evacuate. And then the two guys get thrown to the side because they was irrelevant to this whole story anyway. And then Joe, who's down there, detonates all the things in the mines to shut the mine down because there's some guy with a bunch of glowing lights on him. And then when that happens and everything goes quiet, it also goes quiet for Clark. And Clark gets up and he starts to beat Tal. He beats him into unconsciousness, and he's hollering at him, I never should have trusted you. I never should have came here. And he was like, no, he was right to bring you here because I know what's wrong. His mama said, I know what's wrong with you. And then it went to commercial, and it's still 20 minutes left in this episode. Like, it is so much that happens in each. Jesus Christ. Oh my. Okay, I don't have time because this will be as long as the episode. So let's go into the last 20 minutes and see what happens. Oh my God. I feel like I repeat myself every time I come back. So much happened. So Jordan gets back home and he's talking to Jonathan, and first they're talking about the little boy who went from being the weakest on the team. Now he's bench pressing 300 pounds, and he's clearly on something. We don't know what. We don't know. It might be roids. It might be kryptonite. We don't know. Second, and they're having a conversation. He tells them about getting into the fight with the uncle, and it was like, oh my God, and all that good stuff. And so baby girl comes in, and she was like, Sam is downstairs. He's like, is everything okay with her? Name is Sarah. I've been calling her Sam this whole time. Jesus. So Sarah is downstairs. So he goes to talk to her. He was like, did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me? What's happening? And she was like, there's something I have to tell you. I was like, summer camp, and I kissed someone. Her name is Aubrey. I knew it was going to be a girl. See, this opens the door for there to be a situation between her and baby girl. I'm not dumb. So, she was like, so do you want to date her now? And she was like, no, it was summer camp. It didn't mean anything. He was like, well, why did you tell me then? If it didn't mean anything, it's not giving her guilt. It was just eating her up. So Jordan is devastated, and rightfully so. I'm sure they're gonna address that in episode 3. So they get back to the adults sitting at the table, and they realize, and it's an interseismic kinesis chicaneries. I don't know what's happening. He said a bunch of words that don't sound good. That's what John Henry said. That's what I say. So he said somebody. He's like, I feel like I was being pulled in and out of a dimension, and they said, well, clearly something else is causing this, and they equated the seismic events to every time he had one of his episodes, and they was like, okay, well, clearly whatever it is, that's what's causing your issue. And so then we go over to the mind, and the lady in charge of the mind says there's somebody in there saying we have to clear the whole area. And she was like, okay, I'm on my way. And then she gets on the phone and says, yeah, something came through and it's even more powerful than we thought. And that's how the episode ends. What? So whatever came through is what's causing Clark to have these episodes. So I don't know what's going on. The kids thing is heating up because now Jordan is upset in his feelings. We have officially entered bisexuality with Sarah, which then in turn could she end up falling in love with the John Henry's daughter, Natalie. I keep calling her baby girl. When Natalie is Natalie. Is Natalie on in the community? I don't know. I have questions. Because this still could be a thing of Sarah falls in love with Natalie, but Natalie is straight. And she ends up falling in love with Jordan, which is kind of like her brother. I don't know. But I'm going to watch and find out. That was how the episode ended. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think is going on, because it's a lot. It's a lot that happens. It's a lot. Who is the new villain that came through the portal? Whatever portal they got over there. And what's that going to happen? And now that Morgan Edge got his powers, he been returned back to his jail cell. So I don't know what that's going to do. He going to break out too. I can feel it coming. We going to see. But I think, his mama planted the seed of there's goodness in you. So it might not be as bad a thing for Morgan Edge. We'll see what happens. I'm hyped for this season of Superman and Lois. I'll see y'all later for something. I'll see y'all later for something else.